actually at the gym. He twisted his ankle. Somebody rolled over his ankle and twisted, and he had a really bad pop, and he wasn't sure exactly what to do, so he gave me a call. I kind of took him through a few of these called Ottawa Ankle Rules that you can assess yourself if, say, your foot or ankle pops, and you have a lot of pain in it.
We're gonna look at the Ottawa Ankle Rules and foot rules, and these are kind of a subset of rules that physical therapists go through to assess the need for an x-ray or radiograph to rule in or rule out the possibility of a fracture. So let's start with the ankle rules, and the first thing we're going to look at is if there's any pain in the malleolar zone. So you have to have this first rule in place to go to the next one. So if there's any tenderness from the inner part of the ankle or the outer part of the ankle and up about 6 centimeters, if there's any tenderness there, that's positive, and then you can go on to the next 3 steps. So if any of these next 3 steps are positive, then you should get an x-ray. So if you have the tenderness in that ankle, like we just talked about, and then there's tenderness specifically on the bone on the inside, directly on that bone, they're called your medial malleolus, or if there's tenderness on the outside of the ankle, so that lateral malleolus, and then the other one is if there's an inability to take 4 complete steps. So if the general tenderness on the inner or outer part of the ankle bone and up 6 centimeters is there, then any of these other 3 rules are positive, then you get an x-ray. So let's move on to the foot rules. And so we're looking at the foot rules. We're going to look at there's any pain in the midfoot, so that's kind of right below those ankle bones, anywhere in the front or the surrounding tissue kind of below those ankle bones. If you have that, that's the number one thing that you look at, and if that is a positive, then any of those other 3 rules are positive, then you should get an x-ray. So we have the general tenderness on the foot zone. Those are number 1. Then if there's any tenderness at the base of the 5th metatarsal, so that's that little bone that sticks out on the outside of the foot, if there's tenderness there, or if there's any tenderness in the navicular bone, so that bone is more towards the inner part of the foot, right below those ankle bones, or the inability to take 4 steps. So again, if there's any tenderness in that general foot area, the foot zone, and then any of those other 3 are tender, then you get an x-ray. So one of the reasons why I like this general set of rules is because it's pretty accurate, and mostly these rules are accurate in ruling out the need for an x-ray. So basically, if you don't have a positive for any of the results we talked about, then it's almost 100% in ruling out the need for an x-ray, because most likely you don't have a fracture. Generally, if you're having pain and it's not resolving, go see a specialist, but this is something that you can kind of use as just a tool or some guidelines to give yourself a little bit of direction or idea whether you need to get an x-ray. Because the worst thing you can do, or a bad thing you can do, is have a fracture or put more stress and not allow it to heal. So see your general physician or doctor, get an x-ray if you are concerned at all.